Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. You need to know what's important about making finances a family affair. Also, you are a woman of tremendous faith. Throughout everything that you wrote, it's always about that you have faith in God and that God will be there for you.
I think that I've just been relying on Him and my faith too much.
And you asked me, can I afford it?
I've always wanted one, and so I want to get this as a 26th birthday gift to myself.
Do you have anything to put in the tote, like money? Show me the money, girlfriend. Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to talk to you about making finances a family affair. Now, you are going to see throughout all of tonight's show, you are going to see the trouble that finances can cause within the family, especially when somebody says, yes, I'll help you, even though they can't afford to do it. Why is it that we have such a hard time just standing in our truth? That when somebody asks us for help and we don't have any money, why can't we just say no? Why is it when I sit here year after year and I say to you, please don't co-sign a loan for your child, for somebody in your family, don't co-sign it for anybody. You say to me, but Suze, my kids, it's okay, they need a break. I can help them. And then it doesn't turn out the way that you think, and now you're responsible for those payments. Your kid doesn't really care because they don't have the money, and then you don't know where to go. When I also sit here and I say people first, then money, then things, I am not meaning you need to help the people in your life. That is not what I mean. I mean you have got to help yourself first. You, as a person, you need to put yourself first before you put your money and other things and even other people. You all have got to learn to say no out of love for yourselves rather than yes out of fear that somebody in your family isn't going to love you. If you don't have the money to send your kids to college, can you tell them why they're young? If you don't have the money to help a relative get a house, co-sign for a loan or whatever, can you just say no? Can you just be honest with your family when it comes to every single penny that you have? And then you will be making finances a family affair, and it will be a happy one because nobody will be torn apart about the aftermath when you've done something that you can't afford to do. Let's go to Missouri. Debra, what can I do for you?
Hi, Suze. My husband and I were doing fine financially until our daughter sucked us dry. She lived with us for 2.5 years until she and her children moved out. In that time that she lived with us, we accumulated $30,000 to $40,000 in debt, dipped into our retirement accounts to the point that we will never make the money back and be able to retire. She continues to ask for money. How do I say no to my daughter and get back on track with financially?
Mm-hmm. Debra, how old are you now?
58.
58. How old is your daughter?
30.
30. When you originally came on here and you were telling me your problem, you used the following words. My daughter sucked us dry. You said sucked us dry.
Yeah.
And yet you're asking me, how do you say no to her when you're obviously very angry at her? You're obviously very hurt because she doesn't care about what you're going through. She only sees what she's going through. And yet you're still wondering how you say no to her. Tell me, why is it that you have such a hard time of saying no to her when you call into the Suze Orman Show and you say, my daughter sucked us dry? Why?
Yeah, I don't have an answer. I don't know.
You don't know? Well, let me tell you this. Practice it with me. Say no. Just say the word no. Say no.
No.
Say it like you mean it.
No.
That's right. You can't give what you don't have. You can't give any more of your future because you are almost out of time. You are almost in your 60s, and soon you're going to be in your 70s, and soon you're going to be in your 80s. And it's obvious that your daughter can't even take care of herself. So how is she ever going to take care of you? So now we're all going to be in financial trouble. So you are not helping her by saying, here, take my life, take my money. It doesn't matter what happens to me. What are you thinking? If you really love her and you really respect her, then you have got to learn to say no, exactly like you said it a few minutes ago, so she can stand on her feet and she can be the strong woman that she was born to be, so she can be a mother and show her children what it takes to be strong. But you can't blame her for you saying yes and you getting yourself and your husband getting himself into the situation where you're never going to be able to pay any of this money back. You voluntarily did that to yourself. So your only choice now is not to be mad at her, but to turn that anger on yourself and say no out of love for who you are versus yes out of fear your daughter won't know what to do or maybe she won't love you. Are you kidding me? Let's go to Harvey in Nevada. You, sir, are on the Suze Orman Show.
Hello, Susie. How are you this evening?
Good, and what can I do for you?
Well, I just found out that my mother co-signed on a truck loan for my brother. He lost his job, stopped making the payments, the truck was repossessed and then sold at auction. And my mom has very little in savings, and last month her bank accounts were drained $1,500 by the credit company. She's receiving letters that she still owes $15,000, and I've been trying to help, but I'm worried that any money that she deposits into her bank accounts will be emptied. And I'm wondering if there's anything that we can do for her.
Yeah, well, you know, Harvey, what you need to understand is that the only reason that they can empty the bank account is that they know about the bank account. So the first thing you need to do is have Mama bank at a totally different bank. Next, though, we have a $15,000 bill that she owes. And does she own a home? Does she own anything at all?
Well, she has a house, but there's a reverse mortgage on it.
All right, but it is possible, just so you know, that they could come and put a lien on the home so that when Mama does sell the house or after she has died, if there's any equity left in it and you want to sell it, they're going to subtract it. Does your brother not feel responsible on any level whatsoever to try to help your mother out and his mother out?
I just found out about this, so I haven't had a chance to talk to him about that.
Because now you know, Harvey, why I sit here in this seat and I always say, don't co-sign a loan, don't co-sign a loan. Are you crazy? Never co-sign a loan. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. Don't do it, because it will always backfire on you. The main thing is, let's keep Mama safe and sound. Let's get all of her accounts where the car company may know about it somewhere else. Let's just keep her calm. If they want to put a lien on the house, they'll put a lien on the house. Who cares about it? But you need to get your brother to be seriously responsible for what he has done to his mother as well. We are going to Georgia. Dale, boyfriend, what do you need to know tonight?
Hi, Susie. How you doing? Just want to let you know I love you.
Well, I love you too, Dale. I don't even know you, but I got a feeling if I did, I would love you. But I'm doing great. Boyfriend, what's up?
Okay, I have an issue. My irresponsible sister has inadvertently killed my credit score. I let her get cable in my name, and she failed to disconnect the service when she moved. And the company hit me with a $800 negative balance that went to my, that affected my credit score. And prior to that, she failed to mail off my money order to my credit card company, which caused my account to go delinquent, and $200 escalated to $1,000 negative charge also on my account. And now I have my own student loan debt that's posted, and I want to know, what can I do to build my credit score back?
Well, what you can do is you can, first of all, stay away from your sister when it comes to money, okay? You can love her, but separate. Love money. Separate the two, because she isn't helping you on any level there, which means she also doesn't even know how to help herself. Do you have the $800 that you can pay them?
No, I don't.
You don't. Do you have the $1,000 that you could pay for that other credit card money order that she never sent in or whatever? Do you have that money?
No, I just started working.
You just started working.
Mm-hmm.
Your credit FICO score has already taken a hit. Since you don't have the money, you can't pay them. But you will find little by little, as time goes on, it's going to affect your FICO score less and less and less. So all you can do is make sure you keep paying your student loan payment on time. For if you want, get a secured credit card where maybe that will help you build your FICO score back up. But you're just going to have to live with this for quite a few years. It will take about 6 or 7 years until everything comes back, as long as you do everything the way you should do, until your FICO score is where it should be. I need you to look at you being able to say no to your children as a blessing to them rather than a punishment to them.
Wow.
I'll let you think about that one. And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I would like to completely overhaul our master bedroom suite.
Are you trying to tell me that you think that little dancer's pole right there is going to ignite that fuse between the two of you again?
I think so.
We're back with a one-on-one tonight with a woman whose faith is strong, but her finances are weak. Mimi is here from Washington, D.C. She lives nearby in Maryland. Mimi is 49 years of age. She's separated and soon to be divorced. Mimi has 2 children, ages 16 and 19, and she works for a hospital in finance. Mimi says she's not where she expected to be as she closes in on her 50s. Take a look at her money. She only has $4,000 in retirement, $500 in an emergency fund, $26,000 in consumer debt made up of student loans, vehicle loans, and credit cards. She's underwater in her home and has a negative net worth of $60,000. She is spending $1,700 a month more than she brings in, and while she has faith that God will provide, as she says, she knows she needs help by being a better steward of her money. Mimi,
Hi.
welcome to the Suze Orman Show.
Thank you, Susie.
All right, so here we are. You're listening to everything I just said. What was the straw that broke the back that made you want to come on the show? What happened?
Well, I was watching public television and you were on there, and as jovial as always, talking about finances and consumer debt. And I started to get revved up, and I said, you know what, I'm just so disgusted about my situation, the state of the economy in the country, how my house is underwater now. As I started writing to you, it just, it really started to hit home. And I'm already starting to get emotional, but, it's difficult.
Yeah. You know, Mimi, it's not surprising to me that right when you're about to hit 50 years of age, that you all of a sudden wake up. It's kind of like we wake up and we realize, oh my God.
Right.
You put everybody before yourself. You put your husband before you. No matter what your husband did and what he said, you stayed there with him and for him and having faith in him. And a lot of your money went away because of that. And here you are now, a single mom. As I look at where you are spending your money, a lot of your money is going for your kids.
Yeah.
Your daughter to go to summer camp, your son to go to college. We're spending $416 a month on his room and board. He has a car that he owns outright that you've given to him. In the meantime, you have a car that you really can't even afford to make the payments on. It's as if you have been invisible to yourself. And, everybody, I just want to tell you this. Before we went on air tonight, I was talking to Mimi. And Mimi said to me, don't be too hard on me, Susie. You're not going to be too hard on me. Because, you know, I am known for my smackdowns.
Yes.
And what did I say to you when you asked me
You
that,
said
Mimi?
you won't. You said you wouldn't be.
And what I said also besides that is, Mimi, I think the problem is everybody else has been too hard on you.
Right,
like
right.
your ex-husband, and you've been too hard on you. And you've been too hard on you because you haven't even been able to see who you really are. You know, you are a woman of tremendous faith. Throughout everything that you wrote in this entire thing that I've read about you, it's always about that you have faith in God and that God will be there for you. Now, I'm here to tell you, I don't have a doubt in the world that that isn't true. I am sure that is true. That of course he will. But I think he's looking down and he says, Mimi, I'm doing everything I possibly can. Where are you to help yourself, Mimi?
That is so funny because I was just thinking to myself last week, like, you know, God, I'm really making you work too hard. You don't have to work this hard for me. I can do some things myself because he gives us power to do things ourselves. And I think that I've just been relying on him and my faith too much.
So I'm going to ask you to stay grounded in what you just realized, that you have not been strong enough to help yourself, and you're not helping yourself when you could. You need, in my opinion, to have a talk with your children. While it is wonderful to want to help your kids, it is also realistic that you don't have the money to do so. So I need you to look at you being able to say no to your children as a blessing to them rather than a punishment to them.
Wow.
Well, I'll let you think about that one.
No, it's good. It's good. I'm just taking it in.
While it is wonderful that your son is going to school, he's away from you and everything, and you're paying for it, starting next semester, you're going to have to tell your son that if he wants to go to school, you can't help him. In terms of your daughter, you have to say to your daughter, sweetheart, I don't have the money to send you to summer camp. I don't have $2,400. I love you, and I'm going to always be there for you, but I need you to be here for Mama, too. We need to be a true family.
Right.
And if you could do those little things, and you could just look at your money in that way, where you stop eating out, you stop with the vacations, you stop doing that. I easily found $1,400 of cuts in your money. Easily.
Okay.
Now, you make great money. There is no reason that you shouldn't have enough of an emergency fund, money in retirement, great kids, and a great life. But you have to look within to see why you are doing without. And Mimi, this is now your chance for you to shine and ask your kids for help and not be the answer of all.
Thank you so much, Susie.
Go ahead and do this, because you can. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
My husband and I want to take one last getaway to Jamaica before we start a family.
You made sure that I knew that your husband was on board with this as well, right?
Yep.
Also,
I want to buy a season pass to local ski areas and travel to some of the mountains on that pass.
it looks so cool, and I just look and go, wow. What do you want to buy?
Overhaul our master bedroom suite.
Trophy whitetail deer hunt.
Getaway to Jamaica.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time for Can I Afford It? This segment, I love this segment. You love this segment. Everybody loves this segment. And why is that? Because this is where somebody calls in. They tell me what it is that they want to buy. I ask them questions, and I tell them if they can afford it or not. You need somebody like me in your life. You all spend money on ridiculous things you can't afford. So let's see what we got. Heather, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. It's great to talk with you.
Thank you.
I would like to completely overhaul our master bedroom suite. I want to include a jacuzzi tub and a sauna. I'd like to update the closets, and then the best part, I want to add a dancer's pole.
And why do you want to do that?
Well, I've been with my husband for almost 18 years, so I figure you've got to keep it fresh. And, you know, it's good exercise, too.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that you think that little dancer's pole right there is going to ignite that fuse between the two of you again?
I think so.
Oh my goodness, that's why you need the jacuzzi and the steam bath, because after you've been on that thing, you're gonna need to soak anyway. Show me the money, girlfriend.
Okay, our combined income is $20,433 a month, and that includes timeshare rental income. Our expenses are $14,678 a month.
Okay, wait, before you go on, just tell me, what do you do to make almost $21,000 a month?
Sales.
Sales, so you're both in sales?
Yes.
So when the economy dips down, also then that $20,000 goes down as well, correct?
It could. It's been pretty steady for over 10 years, but yes, that's a possibility.
All right, so just making sure, okay, 20,000, 14,000, go on, keep going.
Okay. For debt, we have $609,000 on a 30-year fixed mortgage. We have a $33,000 car loan and a $500 a month car lease. And in savings, we have $11,000 in liquid, $427,000 in investments, $872,000 in retirement, and $52,000 in 529 plans.
All right. And where are you going to get $40,000 from?
Well, we thought about getting a HELOC, but we are about 1 percentage point under a 20% loan to value, so that might not be an option. So another idea we had was to take the $40,000 from our investments, understanding we'd have to pay taxes on the capital gains.
And all of that. So that's how you're going to do it, and you are denied. You are not going to be dancing on any pole. Girlfriend, listen to me. You have $11,000 liquid. You, with your expenses, should have $117,000 in an emergency fund. You're already 45 years of age. In just a few years from now, you don't have enough money to generate the type of expenses that you currently have. I'm confused here because you say you bring in $20,000, you only spend $14,000 or whatever it is. What's happening to that extra $6,000 a month that should be in excess? I think you're probably spending it. Frank, what do you want to buy?
Oh, hi, Susie. I would like to go to Kansas for a trophy whitetail deer hunt. Now, Kansas is a veritable trophy hunter's paradise, and I wanted to go on a semi-guided hunt with the opportunity to tag some of the biggest deer in the country. To me, it would be the ultimate chance of a lifetime. The cost is $3,950.
$3,950. So just so I have this right, you actually want to go, and when you say bag, you want to shoot one of these deer, and then you want to take that thing and hang it up in your house, right?
As well as harvest the meat, correct.
As well as harvest the meat and eat everything and do all that. All right, boyfriend, show me the money.
All right, our take-home income is $94.50. Our expenses are $72.68. And for debt, we have about $210,000 on a 15-year mortgage. I have $24,000 on a car loan. Thanks to your help, and we've been big fans of your show, we've moved ourselves to more of a transactional credit card user, so we have about $1,000 in credit card debt. In savings, we have about $24,000 in liquid, $89,000 in investments, and currently $488,000 in retirement funds.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I have a little bit of time between now and the hunt, but I was going to liquidate some of the stocks in my investment account to keep my liquid savings on hand and use that to pay for the trip.
Got it. So I love that you have learned a lot about credit card debt and everything from the show. You also need to love the show for denying you to go on this thing, because Frank, you only have $24,000 liquid right now. I would want you to have at least $58,000 liquid. And while it looks like so great that you're 46 years of age and you look like you have all this money for your future, there isn't enough money there to generate the income that you are going to need. So you're already exhibiting that you're getting out of debt, but you want to get yourself back into a situation that you shouldn't be in. Don't do it, boyfriend. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Jarrett, what do you want to buy?
I want to buy a season of snowboarding for $3,000. The past few years, I really got into this sport of snowboarding. It replaced my whitewater obsession. I want to buy a season pass to local ski areas and travel to some of the mountains on that pass. The cost will include also travel to a timeshare a buddy of mine has in Lake Tahoe, where we can snowboard there also.
Wow, you know, I've always wanted to snowboard, and I'm afraid if I do it, I'm going to fall and get hurt. But it looks so cool. I have a nephew and a niece, Sophia and Travis is a great snowboarder. He flips, he does all these things, and I just look and go, wow. So, Jarrett, show me the money.
Okay, our income is $7,710 a month. That includes several rentals. Our expenses are $6,746 a month. Our debt, we have several mortgages, $214,000 on a 30-year fixed, $270,000 on a 30-year fixed, and $197,000 on a 30-year fixed. And our credit card debt is only about $1,300. In savings, we have $61,000 liquid, $32,000 in investments, and $721,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
I have a bonus, guaranteed bonus through my work of about $8,000 a year.
So you're going to take, so you've been getting this $8,000 a year bonus for all this time, and you're just going to take this one and take $3,000 from it and go snowboarding, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely wrong. You are denied. You are now 54 years of age. If anything starts to happen to your renters, which really make up a big bulk of your income, you will be in financial trouble. When anybody says to me, all I have is only $1,300 of credit card debt at only a 19% interest rate, I'm not going to be snowed under by you saying that that's only, it's credit card debt is credit card debt. Sweetheart, you cannot afford it. Ashley, what do you want to buy?
My husband and I want to take one last getaway to Jamaica before we start a family. And we want to go to Sandals All-Inclusive Resort, and it would be 5 nights. Airfare would be included. So we're really looking forward to this Jamaican trip, if you approve us.
You know what I loved about how you asked that? Actually, you might be the first one who's ever called in and says, my husband and I, versus I want to. You made sure that I knew that your husband was on board with this as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was very smart of you, girlfriend. But even that might not keep you from being denied if you don't have the money, so show it to me.
All right. Well, our combined income is $6,219 a month. Our expenses are $3,845 a month. For debt, we have a $252,000 30-year fixed mortgage and $2,000 left on student loans. And in savings, we have $47,000 in liquid and $41,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
We'll be paying for it from our liquid savings.
You will, and guess what? You are approved, girlfriend. You are 28 years of age. You have more than 8 months of emergency fund, including the fact that you're going to take this money out of there. You are doing great for your age. Oh, you go and have the best time in your life. Do you hear me, Denise? What is it that you want to buy?
Hi, Susie.
I want to get a Louis Vuitton bag, and I'm looking at the signature tote. I've always wanted one, and so I want to get this as a 26th birthday gift to myself.
You do. Do you know in my entire life, I have never spent that kind of money on a tote? Like, really? That's what you want to buy. You want to buy a $1,200 signature tote. Show me the money. Do you have anything to put in the tote, like money? Show me the money, girlfriend.
My take home is about $3,000 a month. My expenses are $2,300 a month, and that includes $675 a month for rent. The only debt I have is my car loan that's just under $14K, and in savings I have about $17K in liquid and $23 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
I'm going to take money out of my liquid and kind of use some of the money I have left over during the month as well.
You will, huh? So here's the question back to you. Will I approve or deny, my dear friend Denise? My final verdict will be later in the show. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you will find the information you need to know there to come and play with me right here. And if you're chosen to be on the air, Robo-Man, you will get a T-shirt with my decision on it for you. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze. Did I just hear you say that you're expecting twins any minute now, like it could happen right here on the Suze Orman Show?
It could happen.
And later, Leslie asked me, Suze, how am I doing? If you were going to give yourself a grade from an A all the way down to an F, which doesn't mean you're doing very good at all, what grade would you give yourself?
Oh my gosh, I think I would give myself a D+.
Welcome back, everybody. We are at the CNBC headquarters. We're in the control room here. This is where the magic happens. So many ways for you to be part of the Suze Orman Show. Take a look at your screen. You can send in an email. Hey, you can join me on Facebook, or if you send in a tweet and put hashtag Ask Suze, it comes to us here. We read them. If we like it and we choose for it to be on the air, guess what? You can see it right here. So come on, everybody, let's do it. Let's see what's trending right now. We have at YW Sanchez. When, if ever, is it a good idea to open a home equity line of credit? Well, I think you may be surprised at this answer, but I think it is always good to have an open home equity line of credit. Why? Because if you need money, if something goes wrong, who knows what it can be, you want to make sure that you have a place that you can go and get money if you really, really need it in an emergency. And usually that emergency is you've lost your job, you've become ill, there's some major expense that you need to repair. And if you've already lost your job or something, you're not going to qualify for a home equity line of credit. So get it in place now. However, do not use it unless it is a dire emergency. Do you hear me? That's what I think. Let's see what else is trending. We have at Picture Lady LB. Just rolled my old 401k from a previous employer to my new 401k. Can I now convert into a Roth without penalty? Okay, Picture Lady, here's what you gotta get, the picture that you painted for yourself. You cannot, you already made a mistake. Could you have gone from your old employer's 401k directly into a Roth IRA? You absolutely could have. You just would have owed income tax on any amount of money you put into the Roth IRA. But once you took that old 401k and you put it into your current 401k and you're still working, you cannot get it out now. You can't just withdraw it and go into a Roth IRA. So you blew it. But just remember, in case you ever leave this current employer, that money can be rolled into a Roth. But be careful, because you will owe ordinary income tax on the amount that you roll. All right, let's go to the Suze webcam. We are going to Carrie in Chicago. Ask me your question.
Hi, Suze. My husband and I are expecting twins any minute now, and we were just wondering for our 529 plan if you recommend setting up 2 separate plans, one for each baby, or if we can just set up one plan that we can use for both children.
So did I just hear you say that you're expecting twins any minute now, like it could happen right here on the Suze Orman Show?
It could happen.
Oh, just can you stand up and just let me see what twins looks like right before it happens? Let's see. Oh, okay. I can kind of tell they're. Will that be a relief when you're no longer carrying that around?
Yeah, it's a little bit of work.
A little bit of work, betcha. So here's my real question for you, Carrie. As you're sitting and standing actually right here, do you have in place a living revocable trust?
No.
Right. Do you have in place right now life insurance to protect yourselves if something were to happen?
Yes, we do.
Do you have any credit card debt?
No.
Do you have an 8-month emergency fund?
not 8 months, but we have an emergency
Listen
fund.
to me, girlfriend. Stop as a mama thinking about how can I pay for their college education. I need you to think about how do you take care of them in case something happens to you, something happens to your husband. Things go wrong, my dear Carrie, so I need you first to get everything in place. Then when you do so, if it were me, I would set up 2 separate 529 plans. Okay, girlfriend, happy birth to you. All right, let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Leslie asked me, Susie,
How am I doing? I feel that it's been a long haul, but I know I still have a long way to go.
do I think you can retire at the age of 65? And later, my final verdict for Denise.
Susie, I've wanted this bag for so long. I think it's worth going ahead and buying it now instead of waiting until I'm 30.
Oh, you do you? Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 49 and single. I've been working as a government employee in several capacities for over 27 years, and I'm now a probation officer. I feel that it's been a long haul, but I know I still have a long way to go. My goal is to retire at the age of 65 so I can travel a little bit, as well as continue my passion of working with animal rescue groups. Susie, how am I doing?
Leslie, are you out there?
Yes. Hi, Susie. How are you, girlfriend?
I'm good, sweetheart. Welcome to the show tonight. So, Leslie, you have already been working almost 30 years and you're only 40, you're 49 years of age. How old were you when you started? You were a baby, 20 years old, right?
22, yes.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable. So, Leslie, I've looked at all your numbers and we'll show everybody watching tonight what you've got going. But if you were going to give yourself a grade from an A all the way down to an F, which doesn't mean you're doing very good at all, in terms of can you actually retire in 16 years at the age of 65, what grade would you give yourself?
Oh my gosh, I think I would give myself a D+.
A D+. Let's show everybody what you have going on for yourself. Leslie is 49. She is single. She has $250,000, $250,000 in retirement. She has $10,000 in an emergency fund. Her current home is worth $150,000, although she does owe $24,000 on it. She has $21,000 of consumer debt, so her total assets minus her debt, she has a net worth of $365,000. Leslie is currently taking home, after taxes and everything, $3,500 a month. Her expenses are $3,277 a month, so she has about $223 a month in excess. Let me tell you the grade that I would give you in terms of, do I think you can retire at the age of 65? And for that question alone, I would be giving you a B, girlfriend.
Wow.
A B. Want me to tell you why? Very simply, if you keep doing everything like you're doing it, your house is going to be paid off in 4 years. You would have after-tax income from your pension and the income from your Roth IRA of $4,354. Now, that seems like a lot of money, given that your current expenses are only like in the $3,000 area. But when you get older, you're going to have to pay for your own health insurance. You're single, so you're going to have to possibly bring in people to help you. You're going to have to get a long-term care insurance policy as well to make sure that you're okay. So I've given you a goal to strive for of $4,300 a month after taxes. Given that's your goal that I want you to have 16 years from now, is too close. So here is your way to an A. Are you ready to take notes, my dear Leslie?
I sure am, Susie.
All right. I don't want you to change that much. I just want you to work till you are 67 years of age. Because if you can work till you are 67 years of age, now you're going to get more of a pension. There's more time for the money in your Roth to accumulate. I do want you to get an additional $14,000 to put into your emergency fund so you have an 8-month emergency fund. I want you to get a living revocable trust because you're by yourself. Forget about who you're going to leave the money to. You need a trust in place that has an incapacity clause, so if something happens to you, you can decide who's going to take care of your money for you if you can't take care of it for yourself. I want you to, in a few years, look into getting long-term care insurance. I don't want you to take Social Security until you are 70. If you do that, at 67, you will have $4,700 a month of after-tax income, but at the age of 70, you will have $7,000 a month of after-tax income, and your life expectancy at that time could be another 15 to 20 years. So at $7,000 a month after taxes, don't you think that's great?
Wow.
My final verdict for Denise is next. You really want to do this, is that correct?
Yes, Susie, please approve me.
Welcome back to the Can I Afford It? Final verdict. Earlier, Denise asked me if she could afford to spend $1,200 on a Louis Vuitton signature tote.
I've always wanted one, and so I want to get this as a 26th birthday gift to myself.
Denise, girlfriend, are you back here with me now?
I'm back, Susie.
Oh, so before I give you my final verdict, is there anything you kind of want to say to me about this, like what you have going on for yourself? I'm like, really? You make $3,000 a month? You're going to have to work for, a half a month just to buy this thing? Really?
Susie, I've wanted this bag for so long. I think it's worth going ahead and buying it now instead of waiting until I'm 30.
Oh, you do you? All right, let's remind everyone what you had going for yourself. You bring home $3,000 a month. Your expenses are $2,315 a month. Your only debt is $14,000 of a car loan. In savings, you have $16,500 liquid and $23,000 in retirement. You're 25 years old and you plan to pay for this gift for yourself because it's a gift in cash. Denise, really? You really want to do this, is that correct?
Yes, Susie, please approve me.
All right. If you beg me really hard, maybe beg me one more time.
Please, Susie.
All right, Denise, it's hard for me to deny a 25-year-old who really wants something as bad as you do, but here you go, you are denied. And you are denied. You are denied because you need exactly $18,520 in your emergency fund for you to have an 8-month emergency fund. You are $2,000 short of that goal. You saved that $2,000 and then another $1,200 on top of that, and you want to buy this. Okay, I'm just hoping that by the time you do that, maybe some sense will be knocked into you so that you don't do it. Got it?
Yes, Susie.
All right, sweetheart. See you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The things we choose to spend our money on just because we want it. We want it. I will forever and a day say to you, can you just spend your money on needs versus wants? Because one day you're going to need your money to take care of you. So can you just start that process now? But in life, people, there's only one thing that I always want you to remember when it comes to your money. Don't you ever forget this. And it's this. People first, then money, then things. You stay safe.